The Yankees have won game one of the American League Divisional Series against the Cleveland Guardians. I was fortunate enough to be at this game. It was fun. Um, and the big story is Gerrit Cole. Gerrit Cole really pitched very well. And, I was skeptical of how it would go. And it was really good. He ran into some problems in the third inning, but only gave up one run, a solo homer. Because again, with Cole, you basically know he's going to get the homer. But my thought is, look, one solo shot, you take that all day long. And he was able to avoid trouble, avoid further damage. And that's been a problem for him this year as well, where he'll have a great start where, 5 of the innings is no runs, and then there'll be one big inning. But he just kept it at that. Yankees hit a couple of homers. Harrison Bader hits his first Yankee home run in general. First Yankee in the history of the franchise for his first homer to be in the playoffs with the team. So Bader comes through against Cal Quantrill and also Anthony Rizzo with a towering, 2-run shot into the second deck and right. And that was a big blow. To go from 2-1 to 4-1. There's a lot in between, but it was fun. The Yankees navigated the bullpen. We'll talk about that. Thoughts for me are kind of similar on who I kind of like and don't like in the pen, but it all works out. And a lot happened today. I mean, really, the Yankees announced their roster, and we find out that Scott Effross is not on the roster, and he's getting Tommy John surgery. So that's really terrible news for a bullpen that was already pretty depleted, and Effross was going to have a pretty big role. He's done, and he'll probably be done next year as well, if we're being completely honest. I mean, he's probably out for all of 2023. So that's unfortunate. So Effross out. So that led to Miguel Castro making the roster. Lucas Licky, it kind of became apparent that he would make it. He's one of 2 lefties in the pen, but Miguel Castro, I think, was the last guy that got on because of Effross not making it. There was the whole thing about Aroldis Chapman, and I don't even really want to waste my time talking about it. Honestly, I'm just very happy he's not on the roster. I wouldn't have even wanted to touch that. And he's just got a bad attitude. I think it was one of those things where he kind of knew the writing was on the wall, and he was only going to go to these these workouts before the series if he was assured a roster spot. He wasn't assured one, and he said, I'm not coming. So I don't think we see Chapman again. At least I hope not. And you know what? Good riddance. So, and then as far as the hitters go, the big disappointing thing for me is that Oswald Peraza did not make this roster. Now, look, like maybe if there is a next round for the Yankees, maybe he makes that one. But that was tough for me. DJ LeMahieu didn't, is not on the roster, and that's fine. Look, clearly he's not right. And so what's the point of having a LeMahieu that can barely do anything? So that's all well and good. But what's the point of Marwin Gonzalez over Oswald Peraza? I'm not surprised by it, but it's just why. And look, I'm not the biggest Aaron Hicks fan. Like, I'm not even going to go there. To me, that's more of an Andrew Benintendi thing. Like, if Benintendi returns, then I think Hicks has no role at all. But for me, it should have been Peraza over Marwin. And that kind of rears its ugly head, even if Peraza was on the roster, he would have been on the bench as Connor Falefa would have started over him. But with Isaiah, he does get involved in a positive way on the offensive side. He does. But defensively, there's problems. And let's just jump into it now in terms of what happened in this game. And, real quick, lineup-wise, I like the lineup for what it was. Going into it, Cabrera bats 5th, Donaldson bats 6th. They move around the bottom of the order where Connor Falefa 7th, Trevino 8th, and Bader 9th. I don't mind it, personally. And so, it's Cole versus Cal Quantrill, the number 3 starter for the Guardians. And second batter of the game, Ahmed Rosario, it's a ground ball to kind of Falefa, and he boots it. I don't care. Boone, oh yeah. Boone after the game. Yeah, I'm not sure if he would have made the play anyway. Come on, really? That's a play that he has to make. And so that led to Cole throwing a lot more pitches. Luckily, though, was able to get out of that inning but it probably did cost Cole. Look, Cole could have easy. If that doesn't happen, there's a very good chance that Cole gets through the seventh at the very least. So, but Quantrill gets off to a really good start in this game. Quantrill, first time through the order until it got to Bader was really good for Cleveland. Second inning, you get a one out double by Andre Gimenez, but other than that, Cole does the job. Bottom of the second, leadoff walk Stanton. Oswaldo Cabrera strikes out. Not a great at bat by Oswaldo, but again, there was, he made a nice defensive play on a play that was, sort of in foul territory near the stands. So Cabrera, he always makes some type of impact. And so, but not a great at bat by Cabrera. Then Donaldson walks, and I will say this, and Josh Donaldson will be more of a talking point here, but Donaldson, with a good day, just at the plate, in the field as well. It was a pretty good day for Josh Donaldson, but we'll talk about something that, bit him in the ass again. That's been a problem. But first and second one out, and then Connor Falefa grounds into a 4-6-3 double play. So a very tough beginning for Isaiah. Bad fielding, double play. So we remain scoreless. And then the third, Stephen Kwan, who's not much of a home run hitter, hits one out to right off of Cole. So you're thinking, here we go again. And then to make matters worse, he hits Ahmed Rosario, and then Jose Ramirez gets a double. Nice play by Harrison Bader to get over there, field it cleanly, and hold Rosario at third. So it's second and third. And now there's a play by where Josh Naylor hits a grounder to Rizzo. And it was a play where Rizzo should not have just thrown home. Rizzo needed to get Rosario into a bit of a rundown. Instead, he kind of quickly throws to Trevino. And at the time, I thought Trevino kind of delayed, but in looking at it again, it was really more on Rizzo. And so Rosario gets back to third safely. So now it's bases loaded, and Oscar Gonzalez on the first pitch grounds out to Donaldson, and they get the out at home. Now, Donaldson probably could have went for the 5-4-3. He chooses to go home, and then Cole strikes out Jimenez. Huge at bat. Andre Gimenez strikes out with the bases loaded. So the score remains 1-0. And the Yankees tie it. And it's Harrison Bader, who had good numbers off of Quantrill going in. Bader ties it up. His first homer as a Yankee. And already it feels like, well, Bader from Montgomery at one time looked super sketchy. Now you're seeing the reasons as to why they did it. And so it's 1-1. Gerrit Cole with a really, quick fourth inning, which was nice. We jump to the fifth, and another solid inning by Gerrit Cole. Then the bottom fifth is when things get interesting. Josh Donaldson, and it feels like for whatever reason, Josh Donaldson with the short porch, he hits a lot of sort of close fly balls to right that hit off the top of the wall or just get out or don't get out. And where I was sitting, I was down the first base line, really more towards right field, pretty close to the foul pole, actually. So I got a very good view of this. And it went off the top of the wall. It did. And Josh Donaldson, there's a couple of things in play. He's not running out of the box, which isn't good, but that's one thing. But then, stay at first. Part of the problem is Chapman, the first base coach, is giving him a high five. He should have been saying, hey, don't go. So Donaldson is just kind of leisurely running, and Rosario has the ball at second, and then he throws the first, and Naylor tags out Donaldson. It's just a bad job by Josh Donaldson on two fronts. A, just not busting out of the box, and B, you got to stay at first. I could have lived with that. Look, that's unfortunate, but I'm not even saying you should be at second. Just stay at first base. So with Donaldson, there's just been a lot of issues like that, and so that stung. But luckily, it's rectified immediately as Isaiah Kiner-Falefa singles down the right field line, and Oscar Gonzalez just completely messes it up. The ball goes under his leg, in between his legs, and Kiner-Falefa makes it all the way to third. So a two-base error by Gonzalez. So now you have runner on third, one out, and Jose Trevino, who's been struggling lately, he gets the job done with a nice sac fly that scores Kiner-Falefa and gives the Yankees a 2-1 lead. We go to the sixth. Cole is cruising at this point, gets a couple of strikeouts, goes 1-2-3. And then The Yankees, the big blow happens in the bottom of the sixth for the Yanks, and it's Aaron Judge with a leadoff walk. Judge did strike out 3 times. It was a rough night for Aaron Judge, but in this instance, he gets a walk, and then he steals second, and then goes to third on an error by Austin Hedges. So the throw, little offline, goes to the outfield. So Cleveland's defense, and look, Cleveland's the type of team, they need their defense to be top-notch. It wasn't. And so it's a run around third, no out, and Anthony Rizzo on a full count just absolutely unloads on one. And it's a home run for Rizzo. It's a 2-run homer. And Rizzo, like there's a lot of home run ability, as we've seen. He's someone that seems to rise to the occasion. Like, he's a clutch baseball player. Look, he's a big reason why the Chicago Cubs broke their curse. He was really a total glue guy on that team. And Rizzo, whose bat's right behind Aaron Judge, a very important spot in the lineup. And you kind of felt, I kind of felt like Anthony Rizzo would homer tonight, and he did. And it makes it 4-1 Yankees. So that's it for Cal Quantrill. Trevor Stephan, the former Yankee prospect, comes on and pitches a good rest of the sixth. Then in the seventh, Gerrit Cole with 1 out gives up a single to Miles Straw. This is a play where Kiner-Falefa should have made this play too. Come on. It was a hard hit, and it wasn't an error, but got to make that play. And so Cole is taken out. And I thought it was a little bit of a quick hook. Cole was probably at just about 100 pitches. It was an interesting call. Bit of a quick hook. And they bring in Jonathan Loaisiga, who, like, the biggest thing with him is that he gets the ground balls. And that's what helps him here. But still, sandwiched around that is a couple of singles. So with Loaisiga, I know he's kind of one of the top guys in the pen, and it makes sense, but, like, I don't have the most faith in Loaisiga. I continue to say that. He gives up a single to Stephen Kwan, but then a really key double play to Ahmed Rosario with Jose Ramirez on deck. I mean, that was a very big double play that Rosario hit. And so it remains 4-1. De Los Santos comes on for the Guardians and pitches a scoreless seventh inning. Then in the eighth, it's a leadoff single by Jose Ramirez off of Loaisiga. So they bring in Wandy Peralta, who he's one of my favorite guys in the bullpen. Pretty damn dependable, doesn't get rattled by the moment. I really like what Wandy brings to the table. And right away, Josh Naylor double play. Nice play by Rizzo where he steps on first and they get Ramirez out in a little bit of a rundown. Not even really much of one. But so right there, 2 quick outs, and then Wandy strikes out Oscar Gonzalez. I mean, just Peralta is really, really solid and one of my favorite guys out of the bullpen. James Karinchuk comes on and pitches a 1-2-3-8 for Cleveland. And then the ninth, Wandy starts out against the lefty Jimenez and he grounds out. And then they bring in Clay Holmes. And, like, I fear that Clay Holmes is going to, really mess up at some point for the Yankees. I mean, Loaisiga is a different topic of conversation, but Clay Holmes, it ends up working out tonight, but and the options are limited. But Clay Holmes, you're really holding your breath every time he's in there. And the first pitch, he hits Owen Miller, the pinch hitter. Hits him. First pitch. Luckily, though, he's able to find it as Will Benson, another pinch hitter. Benson grounds out to Rizzo, and then Straw flies out to Bader to end the game. So Clay Holmes, it's not a save. It's not a save for Holmes, but Holmes comes in, finishes the game. But, I want Lou Trevino to have more of a role than he has. The interesting thing is that Jameson Taillon started warming up as soon as Holmes came in. So it's interesting. If Straw, let's say, gets on, I wondered to myself, would Taillon have come in for Kwan, or would they have left Clay Holmes in there? Would have been interesting to see what would have happened, but Taillon's going to have a roll out of the pen. But we don't see him tonight, and the Yankees win at 4-1. So, a solid win. It wasn't easy, but the Yankees were able to get it done. Big homer by Bader, big homer by Rizzo. Nice sac fly by Trevino after the Kiner-Falefa hit. Sketchy defense by Kiner-Falefa, but good defense in other spots. And really, Gerrit Cole is the headliner of this game. 6 1/3, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. That's a very dominant performance. That's exactly what you're looking for out of Cole. And we'll just see what happens next time. I'm not gonna just assume that this is gonna be the norm. But we know that he's capable of it. He always has been. The capabilities are there. The stuff is there. But it's really a mental thing for Gerrit Cole, where things tend to snowball on him, but he's able to get it done, and the Yankees win it 4-1. Looking ahead to game 2, it's going to be Shane Bieber against Nestor Cortez. Another really big game, of course. The interesting thing here is you might be looking at a rainout situation. The forecast for Thursday does not look great, and so then what happens? I guess you'd be looking at maybe a Friday afternoon game at Yankee Stadium. Again, just completely guessing here, and maybe the forecast clears out. But the Yankees do not play tomorrow. They will be playing on Thursday, and at earliest Thursday. And so we'll see what happens there. Whenever it does get played, it's a big game. Nestor Cortez is, for me, someone who I trust more than anyone in the rotation. Is as good as Cole pitched tonight, as good as Severino has been lately. Nestor Cortez to me has been like the true ace of the staff. And so that's a big one. Cortez at home against Shane Bieber, who the Yankees really did beat up in 2020. Different circumstances completely, but it's a really, really big swing type game, because I think game 3 in Cleveland against Tristan McKenzie will not be easy. McKenzie pitched really well versus the Yankees this year, so this is a very big game. I think, the winner of this game is going to be feeling pretty good about things when it's done. And so hopefully the Yankees can just, take care of home field advantage, and we'll see what happens. But, Yankees are up 1-0 in the series, a successful game 1. Gerrit Cole gets the job done as the Yankees beat the Cleveland Guardians 4-1.